95%. That's the share of organizations that piloted generative AI and saw zero measurable return. Not disappointing return, zero. No dent in profit or loss. That's MIT, 2025, after $30 to $40 billion of enterprise investment. It gets worse. S&P Global found the share of companies abandoning most of their AI initiatives jumped from 17% to 42% in a single year. Gartner predicted at least 30% of generative AI projects would be dead after proof of concept by the end of 2025. And RAND cites estimates that over 80% of AI projects fail, twice the failure rate of ordinary IT projects. So, if you're a business owner who's skeptical of the AI hype, you're not wrong. The numbers back you. Most of this stuff fails. But here's what should bother you. While 95% got nothing, MIT found the other 5% were extracting millions in value from the same technology. Same models, same tools, same year. The technology was identical. The outcomes weren't even close. That gap is what this video is about, because the failures aren't random. They fail the same few ways, over and over. Failure mode 1. Bolted on instead of built in. McKinsey surveyed nearly 2,000 companies in late 2025. 88% now use AI somewhere, but only 21% redesigned a workflow around it. Read those together. 4 out of 5 companies took their existing process, left it completely untouched, and sprinkled AI on top. A chatbot in the corner of a workflow, nobody changed. Then they measured nothing, saw nothing, and concluded AI doesn't work. Buying access to a tool is the cheap part. If the work still flows the way it always flowed, you bought a subscription, not a capability. Failure mode 2. The wrong problem, picked at the top. RAND interviewed 65 AI practitioners about why projects die. The number one cause, named by 84% of them, wasn't data, wasn't models. It was leadership choosing the wrong problem. Executives picking AI projects the way they pick conference keynotes. What sounds impressive? Not what bleeds hours. Failure mode 3. Nobody defined what winning means. BCG found 60% of companies define and monitor no financial KPIs around AI at all. No baseline, no target, no measurement. You cannot prove savings you never measured. So 6 months in, when someone asks, what did we get for this? Nobody has an answer, and the program dies of shrug. And in manufacturing specifically, there's a name for where all this ends up. Pilot purgatory. McKinsey coined it. The average manufacturer runs about 8 pilots, and only 3 ever reach full-scale rollout. The pilot proves the tech works on one line, in a sandbox, and then it never touches the systems the plant actually runs on. Everyone claps. Nothing changes. So, that's how it fails. Now the interesting part, what the 5% do, and none of it is exotic. They go narrow. One workflow, high value, deeply embedded, proven end-to-end, then expanded. They start from the floor, not the lab. MIT found the winning projects came from frontline managers, not a centralized AI team. They measure like it's a machine purchase. Hours before, hours after, a number an owner can read. And this one surprised me. They don't build alone. MIT found external partnerships reach successful deployment about twice as often as internal builds. 66% versus 33%. Not because outsiders are smarter than your team, but because someone who's wired this into a real operation before doesn't spend 6 months rediscovering the failure modes you just heard about. BCG puts the whole picture in one number. Only 10% of AI's value comes from the model, 20% comes from the tech around it, 70% comes from redesigning how people actually work. The industry spends its money in exactly the opposite proportion, and that, more than anything, is the whole story of the 95%. The technology has stopped being the bottleneck. The models are cheap, they're absurdly capable, and your competitors can buy the same subscription tomorrow. What's scarce is the discipline. Pick the bleeding process, rebuild the workflow around the agent, keep the operators in the room, measure honestly, expand from proof. That's not a product you can buy off a shelf. It's a way of working. And the rest of this channel is that playbook in detail. What agents actually are, which first project to pick, what a real implementation looks like week by week. If you take one thing from this video, take this. Don't ask whether AI works. Ask whether you're set up to be in the 5%. Those are different questions.